Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Airzeen Q10 Pro robotic cordless vacuum cleaner. What I wanted today is to show you around the vacuum, some of the features and benefits that it offers. Just for a start, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, give us a quick thumbs up. A little bit about Airzeen themselves. So Airzeen is a pioneering brand dedicated to crafting the future of home cleaning with our cutting-edge smart home cleaning products. Our mission is to create a pristine living environment that not only elevates the aesthetics of your home, but also revolutionises the way you experience cleaning. Of course, I'm never going to remember all that, that's why I wanted to get that printed out. You will find that across my YouTube channel, over quite a few years now that I've been running it, I like to cover a lot of the well-known brands, but also some of the less well-known brands, I suppose like Airzeen. I'm really interested to see how well they perform, but also I'm really impressed with how many are sold on Amazon. That's partly why I wanted to talk about this robotic vacuum cleaner. So here we go. Let's see what we have in store. So first of all, you've got the quick start guide on top here. Now, quite a few manufacturers will provide a really comprehensive book of instructions, exactly like Airzeen have done, but for a lot of people like me, I'm not too keen on huge instruction books. Then I like to have a quick start guide, so I'm going to follow that in a moment. So we've got the mop just there. So the vacuum itself, here we go. Very smart looking vacuum. I know the things like the look of it are not too important, but for a lot of people, if this is going to be out on show a lot of the time, then I'm impressed with how smart it looks. We've got the brushes, they're going to go on underneath. We've got a cheeky little cleaning brush here, so quite stiff bristles. Looks like we've got a filter. And then the last thing in here is the base. Now, I've talked about quite a few robotic vacuums over the years. They do all vary quite a lot. And I must say this one, the base, is actually really compact, which if you're limited for space, then I think is actually a real good selling point. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get everything cleared from the table, then we can start the setup process. So the initial setup process should hopefully be very simple. All we need to do is just take these little tabs out. That just helps keep everything separated during transit as far as the front bar here. Next thing I need to do is just to turn it over and pop it on its back gently, and then just pop the side brush on there. That will just clip into place like that. And once you've done that, then the next thing we need to do is to fill the tank up. Now, some of you are wondering, well, why do I need to fill the tank up? Because the beauty of this one is it's actually, as well as a vacuum, it's actually got a mopping system as well. There are some vacuums on the market, the robotic type, where all you need to do is just to dampen that bottom part. And that's okay, I suppose it's quite simple, but it's never going to be that effective when it comes to the actual performance of cleaning the floor. So this is the tank where you would first of all put the water in there, which I'm going to do in a moment. And also, if you wanted to empty the bin manually, then you've got the option to. But the other advantage of the Airzeen Q10 Pro is that you've actually got a bag within the inside here. I'll just show you that. So just lift that up, and you've actually got a bag in there. The advantage of having a bag within the dock compared to just relying on the bin to empty it is that what it can do, as it gets towards the end of the cleaning process, it will go back to the dock and empty the bin into the bag. Now that's always going to be a huge advantage than having to remember to empty it every time. The capacity on the bag is 2.5 litres, so it is a really good capacity, and you shouldn't have to empty it too long, but obviously it depends how often you'll vacuum and how dirty the floor is to how much dirt you're going to get within the bag. But Airzeen have thought about this, and what they've done is they've provided a second bag as well. You can also get spare bags if you want. I'll provide a link below to show you where to get them if you need them. I've just popped some water in here. All we need to do is to just pop the bin back onto the vacuum itself. As you can see, I've just plugged the base in and put the vacuum up to the base, and you can see by the flashing lights that that's charging at the moment. You do need to allow space around the base and the vacuum itself just to allow it to move when it comes out and goes in. So just while it's charging, this is the quick start guide that I've been referring to, and I must say so far the instructions have been really good, so well done Airzeen. And if we go onto the back, then you'll see we've got the option to connect to the app. So I've just downloaded the app, just scan the QR code, and that was a really simple process just to register myself. And as you can see, so just go to my phone now. So all it's doing is want to add the Q10 Pro. So if we connect, and that's just allowing the device. So now all it's doing,
Start pairing.
There we are. So it's just said it's starting to pair, and the device is connecting up. And it's just
successfully.
There we go. Wow, this is really quick. So all I need to do, let's press done, and that's it. I'm a little bit speechless because I'm surprised how quick that was. As I say, I've spoken about quite a few other brands of robotic vacuums before, and it's never been that quick to set up. So with any robotic vacuum, what you ideally need to do is to set up a map of the floor that it's going to be vacuuming. And within the app here, it's very clear that this is the quick mapping button. And what this will do is this will draw a layout of all of the downstairs in my house. So before I can start doing anything else, let's get that going. As you can see, it's finished the mapping process, and that was actually really quick, which is always a bonus for me. And as you can see, it's got labelled out the different rooms. Now, depending on the house you've got, and I suppose here I've got the lounge, I've got a dining room and the kitchen, and within the kitchen is a hard floor surface, and there are certain rooms that I wouldn't want to enable the mopping process. And the beauty of this app is they make it really easy. So what you can do is if you wanted to, say, have everything where it's just swept, then use that option. Everywhere is just mopped, use that option. Or this is the sweep and mop. And what you can do is you can select the different suction levels, so you've got quiet. So if you wanted this on, say, at night, then you've got the quiet option, which is always going to be a bonus, especially if you've got people within the household that are quite light sleepers. Then you've got the standard suction and you've got turbo suction. Also the water level, you can change that between low, medium and high. What you can also do is you can also customise each room. So this area here, so room 1 and 2, is part of the kitchen diner that I've got. So what I want to do is on both of those, I'm going to enable the sweep and mop. Let's set the standard, let's set it to medium setting, and just want it to clean twice. And let's change that to match that up. Oh, let's change that back to sweep and mop. And on the other areas, so I just want to enable just the sweeping, and on that as well, so just sweeping, and then on this room, just sweeping as well. And let's change that one to the standard suction, and again change that to standard suction because we want to enable a really good performance. But now I've got that set up, then I think we're ready to start cleaning. So I've got a couple of buttons on the top of the vacuum if you just wanted to start it manually, but for me I think I'd want to use the app a lot more. And as you can see on top here, it's got the big play button, so I want to give it a good vacuum round. Let's go.
Cleaning start.
So just while it's going through the cleaning process, I'll just explain about the laser navigation. So it uses laser navigation to first of all come up with a map to start off with, and also the advantage of using laser navigation is that it just stops the vacuum having to vacuum in a certain area twice, which essentially can save a lot of time when it goes through the cleaning process. Also, the vacuum uses something called advanced obstacle detection and avoidance, and what it does, it just means it's equipped with state-of-the-art technology. And what the Q10 Pro can do is it can seamlessly sense and navigate around obstacles, and it just helps to provide a smooth and uninterrupted cleaning experience. Also, just mention the suction. Now I know to a lot of people the PA suction power doesn't mean a huge amount, but on this vacuum got up to 5,000, which is actually really impressive for this kind of robotic vacuum at this price. It's just an area in my kitchen, and as you can see this is one of the hard floor areas, and what it's done is it's lowered the mop at the back to clean and mop at the same time. Now I've just paused it as it's just heading back towards the base. It's just finished the cleaning process, and I just want to show you what is actually in the bin.
Water tanks removed.
That's it. Well, it just said that the water tank's removed, and as you can see there's quite a lot of dirt in here. That's almost a little bit embarrassing how much there is, because I do vacuum quite often. You have got filter in here, so the actual cleaning process of all of this is really simple. And as I mentioned earlier, you do get a spare filter with it as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set it to go back to the base and empty the bin, and then I'm going to show you it afterwards. That's
Water
it.
tanks in position. Collecting dust. Start charging. Dust collection complete.
So as you can see, it wasn't the quietest at emptying, but nevertheless you had to get all the dirt out of the bin. Now what I want to do is just to check to make sure that all of the dirt has come out.
Water tanks removed.
So there we go. So there is a little bit left, so it's a little bit of dirt left in there, but nevertheless the majority has come out, and I must say I'm really impressed with that. Now it's finished the cleaning process, I'm actually really impressed with how much dirt it's got up from the carpet. Also it's mopped the floor in here as well, so it's looking a whole lot cleaner. A couple of other things to mention. First of all, it's got things like voice assistant, so if you use things like Alexa or Google Assistant, then what you can do is you can control the vacuum using those voice assistants. Something else you've got the ability to do is to set up scheduling as well. So if you want the vacuum to come out at a certain time, do the vacuum in and then head back, then you can set certain schedules within the day or the week or the month that you want it to come out and do that. Now personally I think that's a great idea. Airzeen aren't unique in that fact. There's quite a few other brands that do it as well, but nevertheless I'm really glad to see that this has got that function. I suppose really the advantage for me is I would want it to come out and to vacuum while I'm at work, and then when I get home everything's nice and clean. Also, things like the runtime of the vacuum, it got up to 150 minutes of runtime before it needs to head back to the base. And what it will do is if it detects that it needs to carry on vacuuming, then it will actually come back to the base after around 150 minutes, charge up and then go and complete the job and then head back to the base. Absolutely brilliant. If you're as impressed as I am with this, and if you're thinking of purchasing one of these vacuums, I have provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. Hope you enjoyed this video on the Airzeen Q10 Pro robotic vacuum cleaner. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, just give us a quick thumbs up, leave any comments below. I always ask for comments, whether it's good or bad, about the video. I know there's a whole load of different demonstrations I could have done. There's a whole load of other functionality within the app to make the experience a little bit easier and better for you using the Airzeen, but I just wanted to give you an overview as to how well it performs, and hopefully that's impressed you. Anyway, thanks for joining me today.